This is an exciting announcement. So you're launching the Global Institute of Credit Professionals and the Global Credit Certificate. Can you explain a bit more about what they are and where the concept came from?
Yes, I agree, and it's an exciting announcement. What we're launching is a combination of a professional body for people working in and around the credit markets, and plus a global credit certificate. And to the question of where did the idea come from, well, we have to confess it came from the industry, really financial institutions across the globe explaining their need for these two initiatives. Let me expand a little bit on what they are. So the Global Institute of Credit Professionals is going to aim to be the ecosystem for people in and around the global credit community. And its aim is to uphold the highest levels and standards of credit decision-making through education, through the connection to an expert network, thought leadership events, conferences, and career services so that people can continue their learning for many, many years and enhancing their careers. The Institute will have a flagship credit qualification, the Global Credit Certificate, which aims to be the universally recognized credit qualification predominantly for people coming into the industry and at the earlier parts of their careers, so that they can have a designation which recognizes their capability and their skill set. And the combination of the two is deliberate, because on successful completion of the Global Credit Certificate, people will be invited to become members of the Institute of Credit Professionals and use the designation MICP. And just finally on your first question, the GICP is intended to be a sort of standalone professional body, but it will be able to capitalize on the expertise across the Fitch Group, whether that be Fitch Ratings, Fitch Solutions, or Fitch Learning.
Okay. We've heard in the previous sessions what's in store for the financial markets. Given what we've heard, that both the credit markets and the economic outlook are going to be quite challenging, how will the Institute and the qualification help finance professionals develop themselves and their teams under these scenarios?
Yes, we're listening to all the other speakers this morning. I thought it was important we bring a bit of positivity in the room as well, because there's certainly challenging times out there. And as we've heard, we'll expect them to continue throughout this year. So what we heard from our clients across the globe was that there's a whole generation of people in and around the credit markets who've never experienced these elevated levels of inflation, higher interest rates, potential recession in the UK, the US, the Eurozone, and we've just heard again about the uncertainty about the outlook in China. So whilst we can't predict all of the market events that we're going to face, we do think that people can prepare themselves through skills enhancement, through being more confident, and through really sort of being part of a network and a community, which hopefully will allow them to make better credit decisions. So I think when you look at the outlook, there was a really big indicator for us that there was a need to put this professional body and certification out there.
So a global credit institute and qualification sounds like a great idea, but is there a need for a formal institute, and why is this missing from the current landscape?
This was something we looked at long and hard, and really what we'd been hearing over a number of years was, yes, there's lots of credit training, and there's lots of professional bodies. If you go across the accountancy profession, there's numerous ones. You have the CFA, which predominantly caters for the asset management market, FRM for financial risk managers, but there wasn't a dedicated professional body. And the industry was saying that there was a need for a go-to place for people who are in corporate and commercial banking roles, credit analysts, relationship managers, people who are exposed and also exposing decisions to the credit markets, to have a body that recognizes them, professionalizes the industry, and really gives a designation which says that they have a minimum standard. And what the Global Credit Certificate will do is aim to be universally recognized. So it will really cut across the globe. Now, the ideas were there, but we wanted to validate them. So what we did last year was run a series of pilot workshops on the Global Credit Certificate. And these were delivered to large financial institutions across the globe. And the feedback was quite overwhelming, in fact, from the participants, that the certification equipped them to make better decisions, but also being part of a global institute would serve them well throughout their careers. So on that basis, we invited credit practitioners. We co-wrote a lot of the content with Fitch experts and other industry practitioners to pull together the Global Credit Certificate.
You mentioned the CFA and some other sort of professional institutions. How does the Global Institute of Credit Professionals differ? You also mentioned some other credit courses. What is the content of the Global Credit Certificate?
Yeah, so the first point is it's focused on the credit markets, and it's deep in terms of the content and understanding. But I think the other point is this was asked by the industry for the industry. So it is there to serve the industry. And the method of study is really catering for people who've got busy working lives. So we would expect an individual who's managing a career and a job to be able to navigate the qualification within about a year. And there are 2 exams, level 1, which will focus on the core credit principles behind making credit decisions. And then after successful completion of level 1, candidates can move to level 2, which is very much about the application and concentrating on critical decision-making scenarios. Now, the core principles are there, but it was important when we heard from the industry to putting the topics and the themes that are coming to the market's direction now. So ESG, climate change, that isn't going away. Technology, how that impacts industry, that's going to be more part of the decision-making process. Data analytics. So it's something which we think is forward-looking and will continue to be forward-looking as the syllabus and the curriculum adjust and align to what the market's predicting.
How will the certificate help credit professionals, their skills be relevant and current? How will it keep up to date?
So through taking the Global Credit Certificate, which will be an experience which can be in the classroom, it can be e-learning, it'll be case study based, I think that creates that benchmark capability. But really, lifelong learning is something which is more important today than ever before. So once you complete the Global Credit Certificate and you have access to the Institute, full membership access, that's where the lifelong learning, and we're in a privileged position to be able to capitalize on the resources and the expertise of the Fitch Group, which will provide content to the Institute, thought leadership, and really sort of provoke discussion amongst this global community.
Great. So you're launching this week. That's very exciting. What's next, and how can people learn more about the Institute and about the certificate?
Yeah, so today is the official launch. We plan to start to deliver the Global Credit Certificate in April. It will initially be offered to employers who will want to sponsor their employees who are working in those credit roles that I mentioned. Further down the line, we would expect it to be offered on an individual basis for people who are self-funded. So April is where we start to deliver the training behind the Global Credit Certificate. And then further on this year, the Institute will open itself up for people who want to apply for membership. And if you'd like to know more, myself and my team are here today, just by the GICP booth, happy to answer any questions. But also, as you can see, there is a QR code for you to sort of take a screenshot of. But you can also visit our website, and there's also a LinkedIn page if you have any queries. We'd be very happy to answer them.
Great. Thank you, Andreas. Please do take the opportunity to engage. Thank you so much for the update.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thanks very much.